had some kind of chocolate, and then our daughter's like, "What are you eating, Mom?" And I'm like, yeah, she's like, "What are you eating? Can you open your mouth?" And I'm like, "Oh, darn." So it's Yuntaku time with Akko and Tamo.
What does Yuntaku mean? It's an Okinawan word from the islands of Okinawa, which means chit-chat. We want to invite you to our kitchen table and include you in our chit-chat to explore new ways of thinking, to welcome different perspectives,
and we want to share ideas on how to love yourself, love your partner, and shower your children with love.
This is episode 37.
And the topic of the day is things we learned as parents in 2021. And before we get started, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our show. Now let's get back to our recent happenings. So recently we've been doing a lot of end of the year cleanup.
Yeah, we have.
And it's been going well. I mean, it was pretty hectic the first few days that we were really cleaning up.
Yeah. Especially during the year with 2 kids now, things just kind of get messy and pretty much 24/7 cleaning, right?
Yeah, it is.
So yeah, that's been really awesome to push the cleaning. And for myself, we've been getting rid of stuff that we don't really use, selling things on eBay,
Exactly.
Just really minimizing and cleaning up.
Yeah, and minimizing a lot of the kids' toys. I mean, they really don't need that much.
Yeah, exactly. And as we talked about in previous podcast episodes, we talked about how too many toys is actually detrimental to the children. So we've been really working on that, from the stuffed animals to just the toys. And also it makes it a lot easier to clean up, right?
Exactly. So yeah, we're really thinking of just really getting rid of another maybe 75% of it so that cleanup is easier and they're much happier.
So let's get into the topic of the day, which is things we learned as parents in 2021.
Yeah. You want to start it off, Tamo?
Yeah, sure. So for me, one of the things that I learned in 2021 is that we want to meet our children where they are. And what I mean by that is, so I would ask my daughter to do a certain thing, but she doesn't do it. She ends up running away, or for example, okay, we're going to go out, wear your socks. And then she just runs away, or she'll just straight up say no. And a certain part of me obviously does not like that. And I had a mindset of, okay, I'm the parent, you got to listen to me and wear your socks now. But I really started to change how I thought about that. And when I had some quiet time for myself, I just reflected on the interaction that I was having with my daughter in terms of telling her what to do. And that's exactly what it was, telling her what to do. And if you think about it, especially young children, they get told every single day what to do all day long, right? Don't do this, don't do that. It was always, they're being controlled. And that just starts to get frustrating. And I totally felt that. And during that quiet time that I had for myself, I thought to myself, okay, what can I do? What can I do to improve that and build an even stronger and more like a fun, light, happy relationship with my daughter? Not to say that it was in shambles or anything like that. It's just that there were small things that would really kind of grind my gears. And so what I did was to meet our children where they are. What I mean by that is when, hey, our daughter is 2.5 years old, I have to meet her at that. She's 2.5. I'm not going to expect her to be 10, 20, or 30 years old, right? So instead, I have to see things from her perspective. And that made a world of difference. So my daughter, at certain times when she's told to do certain things, she'll just run away from me. And I was like, oh, why is that? And when I calmed myself down, I found out that she just wanted to have fun. She was just showing me that she wanted to play, and I didn't know that just because I was focused on, okay, we got to get this task done. Wear your socks. We're going to go in the car. We're going to go. But instead, I said, oh, okay, so she's asking me to play with her. And so I said, okay, let's take an extra couple minutes and I'll chase you around the house. And then once we played chase, then she was more than happy to wear the socks. So it's really, I met her where she is. She wanted to have just a little bit of fun. and then she was ready to go. And so I've been really taking some time and just being with my daughter and seeing all those things. And it's really been a chance for me to be a lot more fully present with our children. Not only our daughter, but our son, who is only 11 months old.
11 months old.
So just meeting them there and focusing myself being fully present and lessening the friction by having fun. And it really was awesome because our children are always giving us clues to their needs.
Yeah.
So that's one of the major learnings that I had in 2021. Thank you for letting me share that. So what about you, Akko? What have you learned in 2021?
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. That was beautiful. And it certainly is true. You have to meet our kids where they are, where their cognitive stages and developmental stages are.
Right, exactly. So, we can't expect our children to act like mature adults because they're not, right?
Yeah, they just don't get it. They're not there yet.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But it's very interesting because sometimes they have a lot more to teach you about yourself than you even know. And I'll be talking a little bit more about that later. But yeah, they can help you see things that you may be blind to.
Yeah. So some of the things that I've learned in 2021 is how tough and challenging parenting is, yet how rewarding it is. I mean, it's really tough, especially with the second one in the whole mix. Having two kids is much different and challenging compared to just one. And there's a lot that I've learned.
And we're with them 24/7, right?
Yeah, exactly. We're within 24/7. So literally every aspect of them, just all spectrum of them. So yeah, we're very fortunate, but it can be very challenging. And sometimes they really push you to your limits. I mean, they really push you to your breaking point. They know how to push your buttons. And sometimes, I get really angered. But really what's important here is that I'm showing them how to deal with these emotions. Let's say I'm really angered by what's happening in the situation. I let them know I am very angry. And then I literally verbalize what I'm doing. Like, I have to take a deep breath. And then our daughter will be like, okay, let's take a deep breath. And she'll just look at me like, it's okay, don't worry. It's just really funny. And so, I'm just taking a deep breath and I'm like, okay, well, you need to do it with me. And showing her how to deal with these big emotions is key as they build their life skills. And it's truly special to be able to teach these things to them, show these things to them as parents. And what's really rewarding is to see them grow and develop as they hit all their milestones, the types of things they do, the things they say. It's just amazing how they go from a few words to a sentence, to sentences, to explaining what's happening. And it's just really amazing to see. And really trying to be fully present with them has also been another reward that I've been noticing. So I try to just put my phone down and really give them my full attention so that I can be more present with them. And it's just a lot more rewarding that way. And a lot more rewarding for the kids too. I mean, they know that they have my full attention. So yeah, those are some of the things that I've learned and am learning still. And also, very thankful for Tamo for making this happen so that we can spend 24/7 with the kids.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. So for context, we are raising our children together. We don't really have outside help. No grandpa, grandma, or we don't
nannies or
right
anything.
none of that. And so they're with us all the time, and there's a lot of challenges, and sometimes we also want a break, but we do that for each other. Sometimes Akko will give me a little bit of time for me to just kind of sit around and just zone out, and hopefully I can do that for her once in a while here and there too.
Yeah.
And so it's been really a blessing that we can all be together at home all the time. And we just started as parents, but I'm really excited for the future and continue to grow as parents too, right?
Yeah. All right. So maybe your next one you want to share?
Yeah. The next one was connecting as a newborn. So this year we welcomed our son to the family, and the context of how our son was born versus our daughter was quite different. So our daughter, the birthing story was a little bit more tense and quite stressful just because there were issues with the birth. And yeah, so that difficulty actually helped me be a part of it a lot more and gave me like kind of bonding even prior to the birth to our daughter. Now with our son, his birth was a lot smoother and I wasn't attached to him as much as my daughter in the beginning. But what I noticed is the more I gave myself, the more I did things for my son, more and more I started to really connect with him, from changing diapers to feeding him, carrying him as much as I can, and just spending a lot of time. And with that, I saw a really big shift in myself too, and really bonded. And now I'm just like, I love these kids equally and so much, and it's been really a growing experience for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And so yeah, I think as a father, the one tip I would love to give is to just dive into it and do as much as you can for your child, changing diapers, feeding, or whatever you can. Carry your child as much as you can and just bond. And the more you do at the onset, the better things will be. And yes, you'll see a lot of challenges. Sometimes you'll be like, oh, I'm so tired, I need a break. But just, take your breaks and get back to it and just give it your all, and all that will come back with much more. So good luck to future parents.
Yeah.
What's your next one?
Yeah, my next one is I've learned our kids really learn a lot from watching rather than listening. And they watch us, so we have to be the best role models that we can. And especially because I've been noticing every single time I tell our daughter that she needs to eat at the table, but here I am setting the food down and then still doing other stuff to prepare for dinner or just like side dish. And I'm eating while I'm preparing. So she's obviously watching me and being like, hey, well, Mama's not sitting at the table when she's eating. And so she's going to think, oh, that's okay. But then why is she telling me to sit? So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. So I need to be better about just making all the food and then sitting all as a family to eat rather than set everything down and then going back and then still doing other stuff. So that is something that I was noticing and that I need to show by doing. So I've been trying to change things around and make sure that I do sit at the table and I don't move until I'm done with my food so that I can set a good example for them.
Yeah, that's a really good point. And I think that also helps us, with our own growth, right? Because we have to be that role model. We have to show by doing. And our children are very good at seeing when we make those missteps, right?
Yeah,
if we don't eat at the kitchen, if we're eating somewhere else, they'll catch us just like that. So
even like junk food, I'm like, I had some kind of chocolate, and then our daughter's like, "What are you eating, Mom?"
and she was following you around.
Yeah, she's like, "What are you eating? Can you open your mouth?" And I'm like, "Oh, darn!" So yeah, all these things, all these bad habits that you want to break, your kids are there to help you.
Yep, exactly.
All right. So, Tamo, what's your next one?
Yeah, the next one is kind of like a mindset shift. And from, kind of being stressed out and thinking that parenting is, really difficult, stressful, to I changed that to parenting is fun, rewarding, and it's a chance to accelerate my own personal growth. And so again, that mindset shift was from, this is difficult, stressful. How does one even parent? To kind of more understanding where the children are at. And like I mentioned, meeting them where they are with a smile, right? So it's not a chore, but it's actually something fun. And so with that, it's been an accelerant for my own personal maturity and to consider more and more, not only my needs, but the needs of others, right? Of course, others meaning not only Akko, but the children, but this translates into the whole of life. So considering other people a lot more, just kind of widening your scope of your thought. So really being considerate of other people and becoming a bigger, more compassionate person, right? Instead of a contracted, tight, stressed out person, going the opposite way. So really jumping into it and getting out of that small shell of me thinking, but more of a we, all type of thinking. So yeah, that's been really helping me. And especially the last couple of months, I've been really feeling a difference here. And yeah, it's been really great. So the difficulties that our children show us are the seeds that we can use to plant, water, and grow. And those seeds become maturity. It becomes compassion. It becomes love and much, much more. So yeah, it's been fantastic.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
All right. So that was another one. How about you?
Yeah. So the next one is how important self-care was. And as a mother, I feel it's so easy to become the martyr of the family. And it's very natural for me to become that. And I'm not really sure if it's like an instinctive thing or if it's just like embedded in like females or what, but it's so easy for me to just like, I don't want to say lose myself, but put others ahead of myself. And so I really noticed that just taking care of my skin, for example, was the first step that I did. Make sure I do my skin regimen daily, morning and night, and kind of seeing those differences really made a true difference. And recently, exercising a lot more had made me feel a lot better. Like in the morning, I would wake up, take the kids on a jog, and it just makes you feel better just to get a good bit of sweat in your daily routine from the morning, and then in the afternoon, to do some exercise has really made a big difference as far as my energy, just making me feel better about myself internally and externally.
Yeah, it's really cool that you mentioned that. And one thing that I noticed as you were speaking was we're actually, what we learned in terms of this, right? In terms of self-care, or for me, kind of the maturity, is we're actually going the opposite way. So hear me out. This is how I saw it. So for me, it was, I started out more me, but I became a little bit more we. But for you were kind of getting too much we. Yeah. So you need to do a little bit of me. So just finding that balance. So, in maybe the beginning of the year, you were very we.
Yeah, very.
And neglecting your me. Mm-hmm. And then I was too me, neglecting the we. So now we're going the opposite way. And then hopefully in 2022, we can find a lot more balance. And we'll need to help each other, catch each other when maybe I'm going to me, then working on that. And then for me to help you when you need me time, I can tell you, hey, Akko, I think maybe you can take some me time. Let me take care of the kids and, you do your thing. Yeah,
it's been helping too. Tamo just kind of tells me like, hey, go ahead and go for a massage, get the longest massage. And so, sometimes I would go for like a 90-minute massage, and it feels really good, because you just relax, get as much rest as possible during that time, and
not think much.
Not think much, and just relax. And it's been really helping. And like you said, like hopefully we can just really help each other find that balance. We're really looking forward to 2022.
Yeah, I think that's great, because that brings me into my last kind of major learning of this year, and it's my renewed sense of admiration and appreciation for Akko, right? So I see that us kind of helping each other out is also kind of what brings the sense of this admiration and like, wow, it's so nice to have you as a partner in life. So we can help each other, and not only that, parent to the best of our abilities.
Yeah, thank you, honey. And it's funny because my last one is also my relationship with Tamo. And just to give you guys a background, we didn't share each other's what we learned in 2021 until now actually. Like I'm hearing it for the first time. So it's really cool that, our last one was in sync. So I just really felt an appreciation for our relationship, and really realized how much of a difference it makes to have a strong relationship with your partner. I mean, it's just... It's if you think of Maslow's hierarchy and how like food, water, shelter, it's all important. I feel like relationships should be at the bottom too, because it really builds for a strong foundation as far as your family. I mean, even if you go to work, if you have a really strong relationship with your spouse, I mean, okay, bad day at work. I mean, you come home and it's like great still, and it just alleviates any tension or any stress that you're feeling. So I just really thought that my relationship with Tamo is such a blessing. And just knowing that he's always on the same wavelength is such a blessing. And now with the kids, time is really limited as far as our couple time. And so it's really special when we do get that couple time and when we do get that quality time that we get to spend when the kids are asleep. And it makes it that much more special when we're able to spend that time together.
Yeah. And I have to say, it is important to still take some time to be with each other, because even if we're together 24/7, it's different. You want to carve out some kind of like the more quiet times where you can just be with each other, because during the day you're taking care of the kids and it's really just go, 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 right?
Yeah.
And so instead of that, you want to, hey, maybe it could be at night for early bird, in the morning, just taking some time and just being with each other. You don't even have to talk much, but just really being with each other, not being on the phone, computer, nothing like that. Just be with each other.
Yeah. Like sit on the couch, just snuggle up with a blanket or something. And yeah, just really simple night. Yeah.
And also something that I wanted to add is, even for us, this relationship didn't just magically happen. It took a lot of work, and it continues to take work. But more and more now, I don't really like to call it work anymore, because it's not that. It's not like really efforted, like, oh, I gotta change for her. Or it's not like that, but it's really just communication and being very open, flexible.
Yeah, exactly. And if he doesn't understand, then you just have to clarify what you want exactly. And it's just, I don't know, like what, clarification, communication, and I feel like those two probably make the biggest difference, because you can communicate, and if you guys are misunderstanding, then that's a problem as well. So making sure that you guys understand each other and being able to clarify and not being afraid to clarify anything is probably a key. Because like Tamo was saying, like in the beginning, it was not like this. It was something that we had to, like he said, kind of quote unquote work on. Yeah.
And all these things, we'll be sharing on, future podcasts. So yeah, stick around. And also one thing that she mentioned that I think is really important is she was saying that you want to clarify your needs. And there are sometimes I see couples where one is asking for something, but they don't actually really know what they want. And so that can also cause confusion. So I would take another step to say, you really have to know yourself. And to know yourself, you really have to just kind of take time to introspect. And for me, I'm that type that really enjoys introspection, but I think it's very healthy for everyone to do. Take some time here and there to do it. Maybe a couple minutes a day. If not, just maybe once a week, carve out some time for you to just sit and maybe think, write down some thoughts, things like that.
Yeah, I think that's great. Or, you just find someone like Tamo that questions you to make you think, and you're just like, oh, yeah. Because I have to say, I'm not naturally that type. I'm not naturally a person that introspects. But because I'm with Tamo, he helps me work on myself.
Yeah. And, it's a lot of it's mindset. And in the beginning, I think it'll dredge up a lot of like comfortable things about yourself that, I don't want to think about it, or it just feels icky, right? But, once you start to dredge up all that and things start to be shown in the light, you bring light to it, all the darkness and the shadow aspects of yourself. And when you start putting that light on it and things start to kind of show itself and you start to understand it, things get a lot better. And then soon you really enjoy doing self-work and continuing to, mature yourself.
Yeah. So, question of the day.
What are some things you learned in 2021?
We love to hear from you. Please come say hi on our new website by going to akkoandtamo.com. That's AKKOANDTAMO.com.
All right. Well, this is the last podcast of 2021.
Yeah.
And so we're looking forward to being with you in 2022. So be sure to subscribe and visit our website, comment.
Yeah.
And we'll look forward to keeping in touch. Take care.
Absolutely. All right. Well, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right. Bye.